Hello everybody, Tyranno here, and today we are going to take a look at the Shcherbakov Light Cruiser, which is the top tier naval prize for the Repair Factory event. And you can get this for free acceptance coupons, or you can get this for the low cost of 800 Gaijin coins. I've no doubt that price is going to come down, and it is not worth 800 Gaijin coins. So what is the Shcherbakov Light Cruiser? Basically, it's a upgrade to the Sverdlov light cruiser, but this was never actually built. They did construct these, but they were never commissioned into service. They were never finished. So this is sort of a not quite paper design, but not quite in service design, because like I say, it was never brought into service. And the main difference between this and the Sverdlov is the anti-aircraft armament and the torpedo armament, or lack thereof. So we've now got 6 quad 45mm mounts, the SM-20 ZIF. The actual mounts that were supposed to be used were the ZIF 68, but these were never fitted to the ships because, like I say, they were never finished. So they're using the SM-20 ZIF cannons that are already in game, which, to be fair, are basically the same thing. The only difference between these and the newer model was with some of the electronics. So they basically have the same role. They've just decided to use the older models for the ship to save on making a new model. And these are capable of firing high explosive fragmentation shells and a tracer shell of the same type. So no HEVT shells, unfortunately. And it also retains the 37mm guns. You've got 8 dual 37mm guns. So overall we have 14 mounts compared to 16 mounts on the Sverdlov. And we have a total of 40 barrels compared to 32 barrels on the Sverdlov. So this is a great improvement in the anti-aircraft armament, and like I say, this does come at the expense of the torpedo armament. There should be some torpedoes along here. They have been removed, but to be honest, that's not really a bad thing. As you can see here on the Sverdlov, those torpedoes were limited to a distance of 4 kilometers. That's not particularly useful in the top tiers where you've got massive weapons capable of firing tens of kilometers, or smaller weapons with very quick reload rates. 4 kilometers, you'd never actually get in range to use that, to be honest. And also noticeably, the Shcherbakov comes with a search radar up here, which is used for locating aerial vehicles, which is always useful. Other than that, the only other differences are rather minor. This is only capable of a top speed of 32 miles per hour, or 51 kilometers an hour, or 28 knots, compared to the Sverdlov, which is capable of 33 miles an hour, 53 kilometers an hour, or 28.6 knots in the stock configuration. It also weighs slightly less, 18,640 tonnes compared to 19,200 tonnes for the Sverdlov. And other than that, it still retains the same armament. So you've still got 4 triple 152mm guns with high explosive APC-BC, SAP-BC, and the high explosive time fuse, and 6 dual 100mm. So you've got HE shells for that, high explosive time fuse, high explosive with base fuse, and the HEVT shell, which is excellent in the anti-air role. Now we're just going to quickly try the Shcherbakov in the anti-air role, which they do pretty well in. It takes them a little while to sometimes find the target. Of course, you have got the radar on the top left there, which helps a little bit. Of course, this is in the testing range. We know where they're coming from. They always come from that direction. And yeah, we've quickly destroyed them before they can get in range. Now, the surface roll attack is not necessarily as good. It's good on the broadsides, but on the front they can't necessarily hit the targets. Or not effectively. I did try this earlier and yeah, they're doing it again. They're just firing way up over there, a lot of them. So that ship is just hanging in front of us, and of course I can take it out of my main armament. But if I'm relying on the tertiary armament, like the 45s and the 37mm, we just can't hit it, not until we get onto a good broadside for it. And even then, it's not particularly doing well. We took out that other ship very quickly, but anything from the front quarter is just basically immune by the looks of it. Just going to let them take a few more shots, and then we're just going to deal with it with the main armament. Yeah, no, they just can't hit it. They just can't hit. Yeah, taking it out straight away. And I think the problem is these turrets. Of course, at the rear, they can't fire down enough for the turrets. And the same problem at the front. They just can't fire down enough. So if you've got a small boat or some such, try and get in front of the target, and yeah, as long as the player in charge of it isn't paying attention, you should hopefully be able to get in and deal some major damage before they hit you with the main armament. And of course, like I said, you've still got your same main armament as on the Sverdlov, and we'll just take it up to top speed. It's a little bit faster because I'm using the reference spawn in, which is with all of the modifications, so it goes up to about 38 miles an hour, so about 5-6 miles an hour faster than on the unupgraded version. So, what are my thoughts on the Shcherbakov? I think this is a pretty good prize. I think most people are probably going to go for the QN tank destroyer or light tank because I'm not sure naval is as popular, but if you weren't interested in ground forces, I would definitely recommend this as the vehicle to try and unlock. I think it's a very effective naval ship. It's much better than the Sverdlov. Like I say, all you're losing is the torpedoes that I don't think are particularly useful, and in return you are getting much more effective anti-air armament. I'm not entirely sure how well the Sverdlov tertiary batteries work against surface targets, but I suspect they have similar issues, and of course they are lower caliber anyway, so they'd still suffer in the surface role anyway, regardless. So hopefully this video has helped you to come to a decision on whether you're going to get the Shcherbakov or not. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hopefully you'll join me for future videos. I've been Terreno, and I'll see you next time.